They say that snake venom can handle a much larger animal, like a hoofed one, but this reptile clearly did not expect an attack from a cute deer and did not have time to use its weapon. The deer attacked the snake and began to devour it.
The driver who accidentally captured this on camera was shocked.
We do too, but now we will show other, no less impressive cases when snakes tangled with the wrong opponent. This snake chose the wrong place to try to swim across the river. The reptile went into the water, and hungry fish immediately gathered there. No one saw the snake again. You almost feel sorry for the reptile, don't you? A young fluffy raccoon is trying to escape from a terrifying venomous snake. That's exactly what you might think at first glance at this scene, but it's quite the opposite. The reptile didn't know who it was dealing with when it attacked the raccoon. She was counting on a quick victory thanks to her powerful toxin, but for the poison to work, it needs to be injected into the opponent's body. Obvious, right? But the raccoon is not the kind of animal that will easily allow something nasty to be injected into its body. Amazingly, the raccoon takes the initiative in this confrontation and starts really pressuring the snake. Of course, his clear advantage in size helps him, but theoretically, shouldn't it have been easier for the reptile to bite him?
It turned out no.
The fluffy little one turned out to be an unexpectedly agile and fearless fighter who suppressed the opponent's resistance. In the fight, he used his front paws to grab, strike, and wrestle with the reptile. His paw strikes couldn't be particularly powerful, but they were strong enough to deliver stunning slaps to the snake's head, keep its body down, and prevent it from coiling for a swift strike. The raccoon grabbed the reptile for just a few seconds to prevent it from launching an attack, while also avoiding exposing its fingers to the venomous teeth. Notice the bravery of this little one. It deliberately sits on its hind legs, which limits its ability to maneuver, but frees both front paws for fighting. Moreover, the raccoon effectively uses its small but sharp teeth when it bites into the snake with its jaws. At un reassess, this indicates the raccoon's determination, who is not so much defending himself as getting his dinner. The snake did not know that it was dealing not only with a little thief who likes to rinse fruits before dinner, but also with a formidable predator in its weight class. We too, honestly, are surprised by these impressive abilities that definitely deserve your like, right? After a rather long confrontation, the raccoon finally defeated the opponent. Interestingly, the fellow raccoon that came to help is clearly not afraid of the snake, even though it also understands the danger of its venom. The fellow is ready to help our hero as long as he gets to share the meal too. In fact, raccoons quite often attack venomous snakes. This animal was just running along the water when it noticed the reptile. It immediately pounced on it, grabbed it, and ran off with the prey in its teeth as if it were a candy. Perhaps the snake was still alive, but it won't withstand a series of bites from the raccoon. The reptile did not expect such a turn of events. The python made a fatal mistake when it approached this monitor lizard. When you see how this lizard fiercely shakes the python with its whole body as if mocking its enemy, it evokes mixed emotions. The monitor lizard's fury is both impressive and frightening. There are many species of these lizards in the world. This species, although not as huge as Komodo dragons, is still an effective and impressive predator. The large snake could not assess the true size and strength of its opponent, so it did not understand whom it was engaging in a fight with. The python relied on its standard tactic, which protects the snake from most opponents. A limbless creature is incapable of a real chase, so it responds with counterattacks to the actions of any opponent. Usually, the python first bites the enemy with its jaws and then begins to coil around it with its body to suffocate. Contrary to popular belief, the python does not necessarily need to target the victim's neck or employ any cunning tactics. Thanks to the snake's incredible strength, it is easier for it. The entire body of the python is its one big weapon. The reptile's muscles resemble powerful steel cables. The python only needs to wrap around the victim's torso to immobilize it and prevent the use of limbs for effective resistance. And then the constriction begins. The python carefully monitors the prey's breathing rhythm. When the prey exhales, the chest volume decreases, and it is at this moment that the python squeezes the prey's body as tightly as possible. This repeats constantly. Therefore, each subsequent breath becomes more difficult. The victim suffocates as if from a mechanical lack of space in the lungs, but that's not all. The blood pressure in the victim's vessels increases, and the internal organs also suffer. Finally, the bones cannot withstand it, and sharp rib fragments penetrate the lungs and heart. After this, the python swallows the prey whole. However, this python was unable to use this tactic against the monitor lizard. The lizard turned out to be unexpectedly agile and strong. Although the snake is quite large, it loses so much to its opponent in sheer power that it seems completely helpless. The muscular reptile grabbed the python with its terrifying jaws and not only shook it from side to side at the very start of the fight, but also stunned the enemy and completely took the initiative. The snake simply has no chance to use its favorite tactic. During this impressive takedown, the monitor lizard also constantly slams the snake's body and head against the ground, preventing the opponent from gathering strength or even recovering. The stunned snake is also seriously injured. The python's teeth are small but quite sharp. Such wide head movements make its bite act like a saw. Therefore, such powerful jerks not only caused the python sharp and excruciating pain, but also inflicted serious injuries. Although anatomically the body of any snake seems the same along its entire length, as if the tail starts growing from the snake's nape, in reality, this is not the case. The differences between the neck, body, and tail are significant. A python, like other snakes, has ribs, lungs, a heart, and a digestive system. However, the bites and jerks of the monitor lizard destroy both bones and internal organs, causing numerous internal bleedings. Even if the snake's skin is almost undamaged externally, the python has sustained fatal injuries. The fight looks extremely brutal, and one of the most powerful and dangerous snakes in its habitat, as it turns out, doesn't stand a chance against such an opponent. But if initially the python evoked pity, now you understand what a terrible fate the monitor lizard managed to avoid precisely thanks to its brutal tactics. The monitor lizard is also capable of using its clawed paws to repel enemy counterattacks while simultaneously attacking fiercely with its jaws and dominating the fight against the large snake. The python is longer than the monitor lizard, but its advantage is minimal, and it turns out to be insufficient. To strangle such a formidable enemy, the snake would have to be at least twice as long, but even in this case, defeating the monitor lizard would be extremely difficult. More advanced circulatory and cardiovascular systems allow the monitor lizard to fight at the peak of its strength much longer than almost any other reptile on the planet could. The python simply did not know who it was dealing with and turned from a hunter into a hearty meal.
The snake noticed a turtle approaching her in the water from under a rock.
The snake is clearly in shock, as it is used to being feared by everyone, but not this turtle, which turns out to be a predator. At the crucial moment, it thrusts its head forward on a long neck and swiftly grabs the snake with its jaws. The strong and sturdy beak snaps the snake in half like a twig, finishing it off immediately. And there are many such cases. Here, a person noticed that right in their backyard, another battle between a turtle and a venomous snake is taking place. Moreover, contrary to its reputation, the massive reptile acted surprisingly quickly, and the final part of the battle was caught on camera. The turtle calmly chewed the snake, which didn't have time to use its venom, and now became a meal for the slow but unexpectedly powerful reptile. The secretary bird makes an impression at first glance. This bird resembles the result of a union between an eagle and a crane. Long legs and powerful wings are combined with a sharp beak. It seems that this feathered beauty should not be particularly agile, but in fact it can surprise any opponent with its mobility. An especially unpleasant surprise awaits the cobra. This snake confidently reacts to the appearance of the bird as well as any other enemy by taking a frightening and defensive stance. It seems that the cobra is ready for any surprise, but the reptile doesn't know who it's dealing with. The snake might have been better off hiding in dense thickets or in the nearest burrow, but it chose to fight. Well, it's her own fault. A cobra can handle a huge hoofed animal or a large predator like a lion with a single bite. But the secretary bird is a completely different story. And all because its structure and skis are perfectly suited for hunting the most venomous reptiles in the world. Most other birds that fight venomous snakes are eagles. Interestingly, the secretary bird is a close relative of theirs, almost an ancestor, as this bird species is incredibly ancient. But while eagles often start an attack from the air, the secretary bird never does so. In fact, it is reluctant to take to the air. It spends most of its time on the ground. The secretary bird roams vast savanna territories in search of venomous snakes, which are its favorite and main dish, and when it finally finds its prey, it fearlessly steps forward, almost without hiding. Original behavior, isn't it? An epic duel begins, striking in its beauty. The snake spreads its hood and rises quite high above the ground. This ensures a good view and allows it to react instantly to enemy attacks, immediately countering with a bite. The snake assesses the distance well and waits for the enemy to make the slightest mistake to lunge at it and sink its venomous fangs into its body. In a fraction of a moment, the cobra can inject enough venom into the opponent's body to stop its heart. The neurotoxin in one drop of cobra venom is enough to wipe out a flock of secretary birds, which of course have no immunity to this poison. Therefore, the cobra feels confident and is also ready for battle. In vain, but she can be understood. She has no experience with these snake hunters simply because no reptile usually survives an encounter with this bird. The cobra launches an attack, trying to reach the bird again and again, but cannot. The snake acts deliberately and tries not to expose its head to a counterattack, persistently lunging at the enemy. The cobra attacks from different positions, doing its best to outpace the bird in terms of reaction speed. One can only imagine how gradually the reptile is overcome with despair as none of its attacks succeed while the feathered fighter presses and gradually pushes the enemy back. The secretary bird goes into battle, relying on a clear and unexpected advantage in mobility and maneuverability over the snake. The feathered fighter immediately takes the initiative and dictates its terms, acting both boldly and shrewdly. With every strike, movement, and step, the bird's onslaught stuns and surprises the snake, which cannot keep up with every move of the fearless aggressor. At the same time, the secretary bird deftly dodges and uses its mossy feathers on its wings to create an elegant yet reliable defense. When the cobra attacks, the bird either dodges, jumping in the right direction, or meets the reptile's strike with a powerful wing movement. The venomous fangs touch only the feathers, not the flesh, and the strike with the large wings further stuns the enemy. But the main weapon of the secretary bird is its legs. The bird delivers a series of lightning-fast strikes, easily maintaining balance with the help of its wings. The secretary bird strikes the snake on the head, on the back, and on the body overall, inflicting terrible damage, even to a fairly large reptile whose length can reach the height of an adult human. Interestingly, the bird's claws are not sharp, otherwise it would be inconvenient to walk with them, but wide and blunt, so the strikes do not cut the snake's skin and do not inflict deep lacerations, but act like hammers. A precise hit to the head can immediately stun a large snake, and if the fight drags on, the bird will keep striking the opponent until it inflicts critical damage to internal organs, for example, breaking the spine. The snake realizes the danger of the enemy in feathered shorts too late. The cobra is ready to retreat, but no one will let it go alive. The bird is only glad that the snake is close to panic and already tired. This will allow it to deliver a series of quick and precise strikes right to the head. With them, the bird can crush the snake's skull, break the cervical vertebrae. The bird knows its enemy well, so it completely dominates the fight. The sense of distance and timing, the ability to choose the right moment to strike, and determination become weapons just like claws. When the snake is finally defeated and lies motionless, the bird either finishes it off with its sharp predatory beak or swallows it whole. Interestingly, a cobra can bite even after being decapitated, but since the reptile's body is tightly compressed in the bird's throat and esophagus, there is no danger for the feathered fighter. Snakes make up more than 90% of the diet for these birds, making the secretary bird a specialized hunter that almost never loses a fight, even against a large cobra. Impressive, isn't it? Isn't it? When you see this leopard boldly advancing towards the huge python, you just want to shout a warning to the spotted cat to get away from such a dangerous opponent.
But the leopard knows what it's doing.
Although, of course, its enemy is indeed intimidating in size, and at first glance the fight does not seem equal at all. The python is about 2.5 times longer than the leopard, and the snake's body is thicker than the panther's legs combined. The unique structure of the muscles in a python or boa allows them to fight with their prey for a very long time. The snake must grab the enemy, immobilize it, and then it will only tense periodically to gradually tighten its coils. Whereas the prey will constantly struggle and tire more quickly, even if under normal circumstances. It is more resilient than the reptile, But in order to overcome the leopard and use its advantage in sheer physical strength, the python first needs to wrap up the enemy, completely knocking it to the ground, and with this, the snake encountered unforeseen difficulties. The python bends its entire body, tensing its other muscles for a swift lunge, but the brave and agile leopard makes good use of its main advantage, its paws. This is not discrimination against snakes, just stating a fact. The leopard's paws really give it an advantage over its enemy. The cat makes probing attacks, striking the smooth body of the enraged python with its claws from a medium distance. In terms of physical strength, leopards are inferior to lions, tigers, and jaguars, but one should not underestimate the power of even a relatively small panther. Moreover, it constantly maneuvers, assesses the opponent, looks for weaknesses, and tries to press the enemy, and then the python finally sinks its teeth into the cat's body, which jumps up, lifting all its paws off the ground. The leopard fell down, putting its body under the coils. It seems like a triumph for the python, which was just waiting to impose its terms of battle on the panther, but the snake's plan failed. The leopard, although it didn't completely dodge the mouth of the huge snake, managed to intercept its jaws and didn't allow the toothless monster to firmly grasp its own hide. Yes, for a few tense moments, the snake almost immobilized the leopard, starting to coil around it. The panther had only a few seconds to spare. If the cat froze or, succumbing to fear, started to thrash around, it definitely wouldn't have been able to get out of the predicament alive. But the speed of reaction, strength, and endurance saved the spotted cat. Even a reptile could envy his composure. The panther has excellent sensitivity and control over its body. Moreover, the agile and nimble animal uses all four paws to prevent itself from being immobilized and paralyzed. A whole set of claws tears the python's skin, while the leopard meanwhile removes the opponent's body from itself. The panther tenses every muscle, and thanks to an incredible heroic effort, finally breaks free from the embrace that could hold a bull. The leopard is free again and can breathe without any problems. Amazingly, he is not going to take advantage of such a lucky chance and run away from the reptile. The python will pay the panther for attempting to strangle and swallow the cat whole. The enraged leopard immediately launches a swift counterattack. Surprisingly, the leopard learned the right lesson from this very difficult situation. He understood how the python uses its coils and what he needs for the attack. The snake needs to contract certain muscles of its long, flexible body, and this cannot be done if the snake straightens out. The leopard uses this feature of the opponent, continuing to attack the snake with its sharp claws, inflicting severe ragged wounds and causing pain, then grabbing with its fanged mouth and stretching, waiting for the perfect moment for this risky move. Sappergy! Compared to other animals in its weight class, the physical abilities of this panther are impressive. But tasty on the The snake is shocked by the strength of such a relatively small enemy. The leopard drags the opponent into the thickets, where it is harder for us to see the details of the fight, but the python finds it difficult to coil its rings. After several minutes of intense battle, the leopard finally inflicts fatal damage on the snake with its teeth, crushing the reptile's head and body. The leopard expended a lot of energy, and now such a large and satisfying meal should feed it for several days. What instance where a snake transforms from a terrifying, venomous, or super long monster into a victim and suffers an unexpected defeat from its enemies surprised you the most? Share your impressions in the comments below this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Then you'll be the first to see new epic episodes with various cool animals caught on camera. Adare are 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 lae.